Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Crosson, and today we're explaining the update from the patch notes of blast changes and adjustments. First we're going to go over to the main menu and battle training, then super training, and then training. So I actually show you what they changed, rather than just naming it out loud. Then we're going to choose a stage. I'm going to choose for first Demon World. Then we're going to choose the characters I'm going to use. I'm going to use a Shallot, a Giant Gamma, and Salmax. The other two are just cheerleaders, Goku and Vegeta. I'm going to start the battle. First change is forward firing projectiles, also called in-game beam blasts, adjusted the hitbox towards the rear, that's the back, of the character during firing. So how do you know which blasts are a beam blast? So you can go over to explanation of controls, so you can find out they are a beam blast. Then you go over to key charge skill blast category, the first one that pops up. Then go down to B1, B2, or UB, depending on the character. For a Shallot, it's going to be B1, Blast 1, a Wild Cannon. And you're going to check out the category. As you can see, it's a beam category. So this adjustment is considered for the Wild Cannon. So now we're going to use it. We get to his rear, his behind, his back, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to use a Wild Cannon. And apparently they adjusted the hitbox for this one. I don't know if it got smaller, bigger, whatever. This is not mentioned, but they changed it, adjusted. Second change is for charge, also called rush type blast. Adjust hit consistency when activated at point blank range. Some blasts that could activate with Z surge disabled can no longer be used. Then can go over to explanation controls again for each of the characters, and then go over to B1, B2 or UB, Blast 1, Blast 2 or Ultimate Blast. And for Shallot, Blast 2 and Ultimate Blast are both Rush Blast category, as you can see, if you check the category. And for this one, if you activate it at a point blank, that's pretty much in his face, the hit consistency is now been adjusted. I don't know if you hit him now more often or less. I guess you hit him more often because you had that close range, but I don't know. It's not mentioned, but it's a bit confusing because if you use it at a close range, at a point blank, it will also take first a step back. I'm going to show you right now. So I'm going to stand right in front of his face and then use my ultimate blast. As you can see, it takes a step back first and then attack him. So I guess if you in that close range, you are still in point blank. It doesn't have to be in his face. And it also mentions some blasts that could activate with Z Search disabled. That Z Search is basically if you lock onto your target and you know where he is. If that is disabled, so you don't know where he is, can no longer be used. So some rush blasts were still able to be used during that, and I guess you could fly towards him and then hit him. And now that's disabled. I'm gonna show you that as well. So if I get out of his view and him out of my view, my lock in should now turn off. My Z search, as you can see, I can still use my rush blast. Now I'm just gonna wait till my Z search is disabled. Maybe I have to stand a bit farther away for that to happen. There we go. And now you can see I cannot use my Meteor Break, my Blast 2, or my Rush category Blast, and also not my Ultimate Blast. So any category that is Rush for your Blast is now disabled if you're not in Z-Search locked in onto your target. So you have to know that now. That's the second change. The third change is for a different character. I'm going to choose. That's going to be a Giant Gamma. With Giant Gamma, go over to his explanation of controls, and the third change is about explosion type blast. Some blasts that could not be activated with Z search disabled can now be used. So there were some blasts for explosion type blast that can be used, and some were not be able to use, and now they can be all be used. So it's pretty much the opposite of the rush type blast, where some were able to use and now none of them can be used. So they have pretty much nerfed the Rush Blast and buffed the Explosion type blast. How can you know it's an Explosion type blast? You can check that also at Key Charge Skill Blast again. And then you're gonna find the category Explosive Wave. Explosive Wave is pretty much the Explosion type blast. Uh, you can see by explosion, explode, that's how you know. And what they mean is once you get out of the Z search, if you're not locked onto your target, so you don't know where he is, you can still use your explosion type blast, explosive wave category. It's gonna first show you what it looks like if I get locked in. As you can see, I can still use my blast 2 for my explosive wave, and if I get out my Z search gets disabled, so I'm not locked onto my opponent anymore. I can still use my explosive wave, explosive type, compared to the rush type. Can you still hit your opponent? Yes. So I'm gonna try to do that now, and to do that I'm trying to not look at him. So I'm gonna fly backwards. Looks a bit stupid, but that's how I know. There he is. So I'm gonna get behind this building. So I get close to him. And I just turn around and then use my explosive wave. So turn around, get above the ground, and then use my Magic Tempest for my explosive wave. I wasn't close enough. Just gonna try again. How am I not close enough? I was okay. Anyway, let's get Z search disabled again. I was literally next to him. Anyway, and then we go back and then use our Magic Tempest again, or explosive wave, explosion type blast. And now you can see I still can hit him, and my Z search is still disabled. So that doesn't really make sense because I just hit him. I should know where he is, but he knows where I am. But anyway, that's a new adjustment change for explosive wave or explosion type blast. And as last for blast change and adjustments, we got Cell Max Max Bomb made it unblockable. For this, of course, we gotta go to Cell Max because it's specifically for Cell Max. So if the opponent is guarding, so I'm gonna go to my opponent. Apparently he's out of the stage. We're gonna go over to training settings and then the opponent settings and then make him guard. So before, if you guarded against his Ultimate Blast, you can check that out, explanation of controls. What is actually the Max Bomb? It's this Ultimate Blast, as you can see over here. So before it didn't have the unguardable one, and now it has unguardable. So if you blocked it, you could just block it, and now you cannot block it anymore. So if you're gonna use Howl or go into Spark mode by just key charging and then use your R2 circle to use your Ultimate Blast Max Bomb with Cell Max, you can now just confidently hit him even if he is blocking. Of course you have to hit him. So that's a change as well. The last one, the fourth one, for blast change and adjustments. That's it for the video. Hope you liked the video, learned something. If you did, leave a like, leave down a comment if you want to. If you haven't followed my channel yet, I would really appreciate if you did. Would also appreciate if you share my videos on my channel, would help my channel grow and motivate me to make more videos. You can turn on notifications want to be notified when I make a new video or when I post one. You can also follow me on my other socials. You can find information down in the description of my YouTube video. Hope you have a nice day or night. If you are safe, take care, and hope I see you next video.